I'm Frankie, born in the skateboard famous town of Santa Cruz, California at the UC Santa Cruz campus, where skateboarding is strictly prohibited. But what are the reasons for these rules and regulations, and how do students feel about them? Santa Cruz, California is a famous town for its surfing and skateboard culture and is home to 3 well-known skate parks, including Derby Park, the first skate park in California. Yet on the UC Santa Cruz campus, made up of hills and terrain that are perfect for skateboarding as a means of transportation, skateboarding is not allowed.
Well, skateboarding is not allowed because the campus says that, well, there's a noise concern with skating. They say it's too loud during the day or whatever.
From what I've been told, it's a danger. People get hurt. It's a noise complaint.
I don't think the noise is that much of a concern because there's cars and buses and everything that make so much noise all the time, and no one really complains about that, you know? I got stopped by a cop one time and they said, "You gotta get off your board for your safety." I've been skating for like 6 years, so I kind of know how to skate.
I think it's a drag that we can't skateboard on campus, even as a mode of transportation. They just want to get from class to class relatively fast. If they don't have a bike, you know, it's like they have to run. If you're in control, it's about the same as a bike.
According to the UC police, skateboards aren't allowed on campus and bicycles are, because without braking devices, skateboards are not legal transportation devices.
I think it's pretty unfair that you can ride a bike on campus as a source of transportation, but you cannot ride a skateboard, even though it's a transportation device. We use this to get around, go to classes.
Bikes have brakes, but you have your feet with your skateboard. You can just put your foot down and it slows you down.
If you know how to ride a skateboard, then you're not a threat to the people around you. You can still brake on the skateboard. I mean, you can stop. It's not like you're completely out of control, you know? It's just you got to know how to stop. Some people don't know how, and skateboarding is like riding a bike. You don't want to go down a hill without knowing how to use the brakes, you know? I don't think it's fair that you can't skate on campus, knowing that Santa Cruz is such a skateboarding town, you know?
Santa Cruz is home to the oldest skate park in the nation, and NHS and Santa Cruz skateboards have been around for probably more than 20 years. And, there's been other skate parks that have gotten torn out, but it's definitely where skateboarding originated somewhat. Skateworks has been here for 20 years, and Go Skate was around before that also, so we've had skate shops in Santa Cruz for probably close to 30 years.
The whole UC against skateboarding issue, it's kind of ridiculous. I mean, Santa Cruz is a town known for skateboarding and surfing and that whole kind of lifestyle, so I think the university should embrace it and, you know, maybe even come up with a team or something.
I got stopped by a campus police officer on Science Hill. He had to write us up. He had to cite us for skateboarding, and he wrote us up on a ticket, which he said should be around, I think he said $45. The next offense is an added extra fee onto it. When I got the ticket in the mail, it ended up being $95 because of taxes.
The fines for skating is totally ridiculous. The sign at the entrance of campus says no skateboards and no dogs, and well, you can't really ride your dog, so I guess it doesn't really leave you very many other options. I mean, I think people should be allowed to skate on campus.
Despite mixed opinions about the allowance of skateboarding on the UC Santa Cruz campus, skateboarding remains strictly prohibited. I'm Frankie Bourne, Banana Slug News.
Thanks, Frankie. In other news, U.S. foreign policy is affecting South America in places such as Colombia. A representative from the nation came to UCSC to further explain the conflicting relationship between the United States and Colombia.
This is Noelle Paris here at the Merrill Baobab Lounge, where Yuxta Muse, an indigenous leader of the Nasa people of Colombia, joins us to share the realities of the indigenous and peasant communities living in the southwestern region of Colombia.
He venido a compartir parte de la realidad que estamos padeciendo los pueblos indígenas en Colombia.
2006 marked the end of Plan Colombia Phase 1. However, this October, the Bush administration decided to fund this mega project to fuel the war on narco-terror. Currently, the House and Senate are hammering out a fiscal 2008 version of the plan.
Con el Plan Colombia, en pretexto de la persecución de la coca, llega la fumigación indiscriminada. Empiezan a fumigar no la coca, sino el bosque, la naturaleza, los ríos, los animales, las escuelas, los niños, la comunidad.
It certainly has something to do with corporate policies throughout the world in calling every place their own backyard and disregarding the sovereignty of people, disregarding the long-held interests and communal rights to land, such as are happening in the Putumayo area. And,
De proyecto, obviamente, han muerto niños, han muerto jóvenes, han muerto adultos, ha muerto parte de la naturaleza, ha muerto animales. La fumigación realmente a la coca no ha hecho mayor efecto. La coca se sigue manteniendo y la coca en los últimos años ha crecido en su producción.
It's all under the pretext of war that they can go in and control through military support and through this type of thing like fumigations to supposedly get rid of coca, which the only thing that it's doing is they're moving coca production to different parts of the country, and they call that the balloon effect. When they squash it in one area, it moves to another. And so that, and then in a lot of places people learn how to either protect the coca plants by planting it in different areas, and so then everybody gets devastated instead of just coca plantations.
Plan Colombia was devised as a mechanism of affirming democracy, peace, and national general prosperity. However, despite U.S. investment, Plan Colombia has not made progress in the war against narco-terror.
And then after September 11th, they started calling the guerrilla groups in Colombia that they're blaming for all the drugs, they started calling them terrorists. So narco-terror, I mean, they're just catchphrases because everybody's against drugs and everybody's against terrorism, and so it's a way to justify military intervention in Colombia.
Megaproyectos hace 20 años eran un cuento a quien casi nadie creía. Hoy es una realidad. Parte de eso podemos ejemplificar como es el intermodal que inicia desde Tumaco, cruza por Mocoa, Puerto Asís, y de ahí se construye la hidrovía que va a parar a Belén do Pará, y parte de la canalización del río también ya es un hecho. No estamos de acuerdo en que el Plan Colombia se siga implementando, y nuestra solicitud a estas personas que nos escuchan es que nos ayuden a parar esta máquina que destruye, esta máquina que está acabando con la vida de la humanidad.
Will Yuxta's plea for action reach the UC Santa Cruz community and beyond? Only time will tell. This has been Noelle Paris reporting for Banana Slug News. Back to you in the studio.
Well guys, that's it for this edition of Banana Slug News. If you feel like you haven't satisfied your BSN craving for this week, you can check us out online at www.youtube.com/bananaslugnews.
Thanks for watching. Good news and good night.